And hello and welcome to the Slam Jam Wrestling Show here on the Extreme Improv Extremes YouTube channel, as well as also being live on the Slam Jam Wrestling Show YouTube channel. Head over to www.youtube.com/@Slam Jam Wrestling Show. And once you do that, then smash that subscribe button. And with that, Corey, how are you? The Canadian Nightmare, I love it.
That's me, David. I have two questions for you, actually, right off the hop here.
Okay, go on.
To get you in the mood of Canada. All right. Do you know who this man is?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Now, who did he defeat to become the Intercontinental Champion in 2003 at Judgment Day? It was a 9-person battle royal. If you can name 3 of them, you get a point.
I'm not going to get a point. So who did Christian defeat to become the Intercontinental Champion? In what year?
There's 2003. There's 9 possible right answers.
Okay, so 2003. It might
right.
even be too early for what I'm about to say. 2003, I think it's even too early for people like Carlito. So I'm going to guess 2003. Jesus. Like, I don't even...
Very mid-card, I'll say.
Very mid-card. 2003 mid-card. Like, probably, like, none of them are going to be there now. Like... Matt Hardy?
No, in the same vein, though.
Jeff Hardy?
No.
Okay, Matt Hardy... shit. Like, B squared. Like, Bull Buchanan.
I think that's too early still.
Too early for... Okay, 2003. So let's work this out. Brock Lesnar became world champion in 2002. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we were now in the get the F out era. Get the F out. So DX wasn't even necessarily a thing with Shawn Michaels and Triple H yet.
No DX.
Okay, so Dudley Boys... Okay, so Deacon Batista.
No.
Okay, but okay.
Too far in the future.
Okay, too far in the future. Right.
Yeah.
God, I'm not going to get any of these. So Christian.
Yeah. Another Canadian. Actually, 2 other Canadians.
Lance Storm.
Actually, 3 other Canadians.
Lance Storm.
Yeah, that's one of them. Yeah.
Lance Storm.
That's right.
I can't think who else is Canadian.
One of them is still active.
Still active.
Maybe not in WWE.
I don't know, man. I'm fumbling this badly. Like, I can't remember last week, let alone 2000.
He goes by many names.
Okay, hang on. So 2003. So right, I can work this out. So Brock Lesnar went against Kurt Angle. Big Show was also in the world title picture. Who were tag teams at this time?
It's for the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to build the roster in my mind. And usually you remember like the main events and work downwards.
One of them was an odd couple tag team, I will say. And that
Okay,
would be
so
2 points right there.
Hardcore Holly.
No.
Okay. I don't. If you said it's very mid card, I'm not even going to guess Randy Orton.
No.
So 2003. This is even like before ECW came back, isn't it? I don't know. Like, I'm out. Like, I'm embarrassing myself now. I've got
one
no idea.
of the people was known as Mr. ECW, Mr.
Tommy Dreamer?
Monday Night, Mr.
Oh, Rob Van Dam.
That's right.
Okay, so Rob Van Dam.
Lance.
Like, I don't know, was this like Rodney Mack? Is this era?
No, I maybe think a bit higher stock than somebody like a Rodney Mack.
Oh, you said it was very mid card, right? I don't know.
But those are guys that are like those are like velocity. These people like.
So is it kind of like Money in the Bank kind of competitors?
Yeah, I would say yeah.
Okay, so
some of these people have competed in Money in the Bank.
So 2003, Chris Benoit.
No, there is a Chris though.
Okay, Chris Masters. Another Chris.
That's Canadian.
I don't know. Is William Regal in it? I don't think he's Canadian.
No, he's not.
Shit, I don't know. I give up. I tap out.
All right, we've got Lance Storm.
Yes.
Rob Van Dam.
Yeah.
Chris Jericho.
Oh man, I should have said that. Oh, hang on. He isn't very mid card. He's like main event.
Kane. Test. Booker T, Goldust, and Canadian Val Venus.
I was thinking, and Val Venus. I was thinking more along the lines of Test level and Val Venus level than Kane and Booker T, to be fair.
One last question.
Go for it.
How much did the $1 million belt go in that year? The $1 million belt.
How much it sold for?
Yeah. Do you think it was $1 million?
Well, this is a WWE magazine, so I'm going to say it's $4.67 million. Is it like 167,000?
$399.
Oh, I thought you meant like the actual belts. Well, Corey, I'm gonna find the opportunity to ask you some very obscure questions as well.
Please.
Yeah, no, I will do that. Right, here's a really obscure question. Did you see the Royal Rumble on Sunday?
That's not obscure, but yes, I did. I saw it live at my buddy's bar. He owns a sports bar, and he decided for the first time ever he was going to do a wrestling-themed one. And here's the thing. Not everybody was there to see it, but they were intrigued.
Okay. So, like, did he have anything other than it just being on the TV? Like, was there anything else wrestling-themed about the event?
There was like every single TV. There's like 20 TVs in this bar. They were all playing it, and
nice.
And they had like a Rumble draw. There was like every single TV.
Oops, a little bit of echo. That's my fault.
Yeah.
Wow, no, that's cool. So, okay, like, what was your general overall impressions? What did you think of the Royal Rumble event this year?
I mean, I think any wrestling fan knows that the biggest story coming out of it was not even a match; it was the angle at the end with Canadian Samuel Zayn.
Yeah, Shmooly.
Yeah, that was good. It was in due time, and I think it sets him up for Elimination Chamber as the competitor. That'll probably be set up this tomorrow on SmackDown, I assume, because I guess also word is that they don't think that he's a WrestleMania main event guy yet, which is, I don't know, when would be a better time.
No, I don't think there is a better time. I think my prediction is that Sami Zayn will still be in the WrestleMania main event this year.
Ooh, that's a bold prediction.
I don't think so, just because, look, we've had Kofi Mania, we've had Daniel Bryan, like, we had Becky Lynch. It's happened a few times where they look at things and they're like, we can't keep fighting what the audience want. So in the end, they have to go along with it.
I think what they were doing is just going for the placating them by giving him the main event at Elimination Chamber, not even putting the men's title, the Universal Undisputed, whatever it is called now. Like, they're not putting that in the picture at all in the Elimination Chamber, which kind of, I think, like, detracts from that match, makes it less exciting, because I don't care as much who beats Austin Theory, because that guy is...
Well, yeah, but like for the Elimination Chamber match, like if they'd put Roman in it, and like I think that would have actually they could have done that where if Sami Zayn was then in it and it ends up, but if Sami ended up last, then they'd want him to have the singles match, which would then be at WrestleMania. So
yeah, they could do, but obviously that's not.
But here's the thing, that WrestleMania is 2 nights every year now, so just have it that Cody Rhodes won the Royal Rumble. He will go against Roman on night 2, or he'll go against the world champion on night 2.
Yeah.
And have Sami Zayn will be that he'll go against the champion on night 1. And Roman, and that's perfect as a heel. He should be like, well, why should I have to do this? And it's like, well, you've got 2 championship belts, and you can either defend them individually, or you have to wrestle. You have to wrestle twice.
Yeah, exactly. I think that could have been the way, but I also think that for a long time they were holding out for Mr. Dwayne, the Pebble Johnson, baby, and clearly that didn't pan out, or maybe it's all a big swerve and that's what's going to happen. Who's to say? I don't think the Rumble was anything noteworthy. I felt real bad for Kofi because he really botched that spot. That was. I hope he's okay.
Yeah, I haven't watched it back. I don't like. Was he meant to land in the chair, sat down?
I believe he was meant to like stomp on it because I think he's done that spot before. So I think he was just going back to an old classic. But I don't know if you recall earlier in the broadcast when our good friend Pat McAfee made his re-debut, he also had trouble with the chair.
Yeah.
That was maybe foreshadowing. Maybe it was all meant to be. Maybe it wasn't a botch. But yeah, other than that, I mean, yeah, Cody won, and I think that was a little bit too telegraphed throughout, like, all the weekly promos of him being like, he is the best wrestler of all
Alive.
time. Yeah, he's so good. He's meant to do this. I think, honestly, if he goes on to Mania and defeats Roman, I think very quickly the fans will turn on him.
I think they're
Similar
going to
to
turn
what
on him like in a week's time.
Yeah.
I don't. This is Blue Tista all over again. They don't want him there. They want Sami Zayn in that spot.
Exactly, yeah, and I think that I was most excited about Cody Rhodes. I didn't care about him until his end of his run at AEW, and he was getting like nuclear heat for trying to be the good guy, and like clearly everybody's like, "You suck." I was like, "Yes, I am all in on this
Like
guy."
people were in favor of Cody, I think, until he got the neck tattoo.
Yeah, that was
It was
the real
all
heel
downhill
move.
as soon as he got like the neck tattoo. People like, ugh, what do you do? Ugh, no, don't. Like, no, go away.
Yeah.
Like that whole match, that feud, him and MJF, it'd been building up, and then like the whole audience were just like, "There's a tattoo on your neck," and like the match fell so flat. One tattoo, like spoiled like a 6-month program.
Yeah, and that whole Agogo angle, Anthony, I think it was called Agogo. I forget.
What the one where he
fuck-
was like, "I'm going to be the American Dream again."
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was. I mean, it's fine. The women's rumble was fun. I really liked the end sequence and having Rhea be the Iron Woman. That was great, and she deserved the push. And hopefully, she defeats Charlotte because oh boy, Charlotte does not need a title.
No. Right, but I think with Charlotte, they're trying to get her up to beat Rick's record,
Yes. Yeah.
or at least equal it, and she's getting there. But okay, so Corey, like let's backtrack on this event. There is some things to break down, and you already touched upon it. Like the biggest return of the night, Pat McAfee. Like,
Yeah.
and I don't even know. Like, was that just for the Rumble? Or is he back now? He wasn't on Raw. I don't think he would be on Raw, though, would he?
Yeah, he's a SmackDown guy.
Yeah.
I don't know because there was also whisperings that Wade Barrett would come off commentary and go back in the ring at the Rumble.
Go back to England.
Yeah, go back to that's bad news, England.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope he comes back because he was definitely like that bit of energy that show needed. Because I think Michael Cole is tired, and he's never been a color commentary guy. He's always been the play-by-play, but not even that much. But
Yeah, and so so then we start things off with the men's Rumble, and it was Sheamus and Gunter, the first two in, and obviously like this is the weird logic I think that they have sometimes. Like when it was Cody who'd entered at number 30, and Gunter the heel who entered at number 1, I'm like, well, Gunter's worked harder for this.
Yes,
I was like, yeah, I was happy to see Cody win, but I was like, no, Gunter is the good guy in this angle here.
Yeah, I don't know why, because it was already announced to return in the Rumble, so it wasn't like it was a surprise that he was at 30. Because by the time you got to 29, you're like, okay, it's got to be him, because we already know who's going to be there. It would make more sense to reverse the roles and have Gunter just run house.
I think there was one of the years when Roman won. Like, he entered at number 1 and then got injured and wasn't in it for like 45 minutes. And then came back in and the audience were just like, no, you haven't earned this at all.
Yeah.
It's crazy what they do sometimes like that. But, like...
I think they're trying to, like, strap a rocket to Gunther and, like, make him into a star with this match. Because any casual fan that, doesn't watch week to week and just sees the Rumbles like, oh, this guy's good. He's a big, meaty man slapping meat. I can get behind that.
They had him, like, the timing, they messed it up, though. Like, they had him and Brock face off, and the audience was like, oh, like that. And they stood there like, aha, and then it was like 10, 9, and you saw Gunter, he was like, shit! And he's like, let's just start fighting, because we need to get this reaction, but it missed the boat there.
Yeah, also, Otis missed his cue, too, I think, because he was meant to do not the worm. What does he call it? The caterpillar. That's right.
Caterpillar.
He was meant to do that on, I forget who he knocked down, but then as soon as he started like doing this like pump up for it, the countdown started.
9.
And then somebody entered, and then he had to set it up all over again and do it quickly. I mean, it's tough, right? It's live, and we know about that. We know about live.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So one of the stories in it was that Dominic Mysterio came out wearing the Rey mask, and Rey didn't emerge at all. Apparently, he'd been injured, and they just decided not to have him in it, or not to have someone in it.
Yes.
So God knows what that was. Okay.
I think they're setting up Rey and Dom at WrestleMania. I think they've pulled the trigger.
Yeah. Now I will respond to our audience. Audience, give us any comments or thoughts along the way. You know, we're getting some likes and some thumbs up. That's always good to see. So give us a lot more of that if you're enjoying the show, and don't forget to smash that subscribe button, like the Slam Jam Wrestling Facebook page as well. After that brief interlude there, let's get on to, well, was there any surprise returns? Look, my pick. Go on. No, I was going to say, look, clearly after many months, it turned out I was right, and the winner of the Men's Royal Rumble was Logan Paul. And I was so close. Final three, Corey. He even did the Shawn Michaels thing of, it looked like he was eliminated, and he wasn't, and he came back in, he threw out Seth freaking Rollins, and then he got eliminated.
That'll be the Mania match.
What did you think of his flying through the air with Ricochet?
I think it's been done before. It was fine, but you know, like he's good at what he does, I guess, and at scamming people into buying his NFTs and all that. So I don't know. I don't like the guy personally, but yeah, he can go. Yeah.
Wow. Do you know what? Like, I know he's a YouTube guy. I don't know. He might be controversial. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Right. But like, I've been impressed with him in the ring. So, you know, I wanted him to win the Royal Rumble. He let me down. So in that sense, you know, not good enough. But
yeah, there was the return of Booker T.
Yeah. Oh. Now that was cool, and he was in Texas. This is the first time I've seen Booker T, where to me he looked like he was aging, because he's been one of these guys that never aged, but like he seemed a bit stiffer as he walked. He got down for that. He still did the spinneroonie, but he got down for it a bit slower. His high kick wasn't quite as high as it used to be. You know.
Yeah.
The ravages of age get us all eventually.
I mean, he did get defeated in 2003 by Christian for the Intercontinental Championship, so he's been at it that's 20 years.
Yeah, and that was his debut match, evidently, as well, so.
Yeah, and then we had the surprise of Michelle McCool coming in from the audience. Mrs. Undertaker, if you will.
Well, we also had the debut. We'd never seen her before. Who is this Piper Niven?
Oh, yeah.
She seemed like she was like, you know, the star in the making.
Thank God for that, eh? Jeez. Vince really saddled her with the dumbest name he could think of. Oh, Dewdrop, that's good shit.
Well, you know, like a change of gimmick was overdue.
For sure. Yeah, and she's good. But just with that name and like just her whole presentation, it really...
Yeah.
She didn't look like the monster heel that she could be. Oh, and then obviously, speaking of monster heels, Nia Jax.
She's back.
But apparently not, which is good.
Apparently not. I thought there was like, she is back and they're selling merchandise and stuff.
They're selling merchandise, but she's still listed in the alumni page of WWE.
Oh, she'll be back on Friday.
I hope. To Christ.
She definitely will.
No, please, David. Why would you wish this upon us?
No, I don't wish it. Like, I just think it will happen. Now, one of the interesting things, and look, I'm going to try to bring this up, and maybe this is a mistake already, but it's been shared around. I don't know if you have a concept of who Mr. Blobby is.
Oh, yes, I saw this video.
Yeah, so Mr. Blobby is now a wrestler, it would seem. And let's see if I can bring this up here. So, such pain. Right. So, I'll try to find this, but Mr. Blobby was a character on British television throughout, like, the 1990s. I think there was did you ever have a version of the show called Deal or No Deal?
Yes.
Okay, so in the UK,
Howard Mandel. Yeah.
oh, okay, we had a guy called Noel Edmonds, who was the host of it, and he used to have a show called Noel's House Party, and it was a very British show and a very weird show, but there was this mascot character called Mr. Blobby, and I'm just seeing if it will load. If it will load, then I'll screen share and we can have a look at it. But the point of this story, if it does load, is that all of these dudes surrounded Mr. Blobby, and he sort of threw them all off of him, and I don't know if I could find the exact spot, but he threw all of these guys off of him, and I said afterwards that was the exact same thing that Nia Jax did with all of the women surrounding her.
Yeah,
so
Mrs. Blobby.
yeah, she did the Mr. Blobby spot. Okay, so let's see if I can get the screen share. Now, when we did this a couple of weeks ago, WWE like demonetized everything, and what's going on there? Right, so window and share this, and so here we can see Mr. Blobby wrestling in the ring.
Yeah,
and let's see if they all surround him. Look, so they all start beating him down. So hopefully if this is small enough in the screen, we're not going to get like a strike or something. And some of them jump early. Like that one, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Right? But the thing is, they did the exact same thing with Nia Jax in the actual Royal Rumble. And they've done it in the past with the Big Show. And with Big Show, you can believe it. But, I don't know. The weird thing, just on this note, is like a week or two ago, it was being shared around social media that the Mr. Blobby costume was for sale on eBay. Like the original... Whoa, hang on, not that one.
Oh,
right.
Oh
so like, there's Mr. Blobby.
Yeah.
And there's like... The head's coming off. This was Noel's house party.
That's the Shockmaster.
It's the Shockmaster. Oh my god!
Mr. Blobby. Oh no! Shockmastered himself twice.
You're so right. That's a very good call. That was just the Shockmaster. So there's Noel Edmonds, and that exact costume was apparently for sale, and it was being sold for something like £5,000 or £10,000. Look at that, and the helmet comes off, right? And now suddenly a week later, Mr. Blobby is wrestling, but this costume doesn't look damaged at all. But it did say that Mr. Blobby, like, they were selling the costume, but you didn't have the rights to the character. And I can't believe that these guys suddenly got the rights to the character of Mr. Blobby to use it in some... I don't even know what promotion this was.
I don't know if they got the rights, necessarily, or they just had a costume made.
Wow, yeah. It's certainly been all over the wrestling. Oh, no, okay. Oh, hang on. Here is the update on that. It says, buyer backs out of £62,000 Mr. Blobby suit purchase. So that's how much that costume apparently was sold for. The seller is let down, £62,000, and then he debuted on this wrestling promotion. Wow. Okay, because I can tell you're riveted by this story of Noel's house party. Let's go back to the Royal Rumble. Let's talk more about Nia Jax. So, hang on. There are many costumes of Mr. Blobby out there. The company is Riot Cabaret. Shout out to Riot Cabaret. Sponsor this show. Right, but thank you there, Degrino. But, to me, the ending of the Women's Royal Rumble was much more dramatic and exciting than the men's. And
100%, yeah.
What I would say, one of the big contributors to that is Gunther clearly didn't want to take a hard bump over the top rope. Every time he almost went over the top rope, he went over forward, which is a much slower bump than going over backwards. So when he got eliminated in the end, you knew it was the moment because he was preparing himself to go over. On the other hand, in the Women's Royal Rumble match, Rhea Ripley, who went on to win, when she got thrown over just to the apron, that too, but she went over so fast, and her feet were like that close, Sesame Daddy, right, so close to the ground. And it's like, you know, they were playing with fire with who was going to win. And then obviously the green, or the mist in the eyes from Asuka, and Liv Morgan blinded, like, oh, can she bang the hand, and then the head scissors, and that's all she wrote, basically.
It was excellent. I think the women's Rumble was like so much better than the men's Rumble in many ways.
I thought the last 15 or 20 minutes were better. Like the first, maybe it's because we'd already seen a Rumble, but like the first half of the women's Rumble, I thought was a bit pedestrian. It wasn't like because it got more surprises in as much as they got like NXT wrestlers in it, whereas like the men's one didn't. Chelsea Green returned and was in it for like 1.5 seconds.
Yeah, and it looks like they're using that as an angle, which is fun. Because on Raw this week, she went up to not general manager Adam Pearson, said, I don't have the right stuff in my dressing room. I need chocolate. I need this. I need that. Very stupid. It's, I guess, similar to, Carmella's former character.
Yeah.
But, at least it's something. At least they like, that was more substantial than what they gave a lot of the other women.
I think they should make her gimmick so that like she's just so fierce that like everyone's afraid to say no to her, and then they're suddenly like, God, they should start giving hints like, gosh, I fear like I'm glad I'm not the guy that has to go home to that. I bet he's a real doormat.
Yeah,
you see what I'm going with here, right?
Yeah.
And so then you have doormat Cardona, print that T-shirt.
That'd be good. Doormat Cardona. That'd be good. Yeah, they got to get him into. I think that's the idea. Eventually, I'm not sure how. Like, if it's not in the Rumble, I don't know how else to introduce him.
Maybe have they announced just put him in the elimination chamber?
Oh, they could.
Or
but that would.
Actually, they're doing Money in the Bank, and I think Money in the Bank is the show that's going to be in London. Actually.
You know what? I don't want to blow anybody's spot up, but maybe Matt Cardona could be Uncle Howdy.
Oh, I hope not. Well, okay, so let's just deal with Uncle Howdy.
Wait. Before we get there, during his run as the European champion, Al Snow was known to appear with his matches using a motif of a different European nation. At Unforgiven, his chosen nation was Italy. Can you name the Italian-American actor whose photograph he brought down to the ringside as part of his theme? Was it A, Robert De Niro?
No.
B, Al Pacino?
No.
C, Tony Danza?
Oh, I don't know then. Right, I'm going to say it was Al Pacino.
It was Tony Danza.
Ah, damn it.
Al Snow.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to Uncle Howdy.
Yeah, Uncle Howdy. So, I just can't stand like Bray Wyatt. Like Vince isn't there anymore. This is Bray Wyatt's fault.
Yeah, you know
like,
what?
The pitch black. Well, I was going to say the pitch black match. It was just like, hey,
sorry, David, the Mountain Dew pitch black match.
It was literally I want to glow in the dark match.
Yeah. I think somebody online said it looked like they should have those like laser guns playing.
Yeah, laser tag.
Buddy, yeah. Here's the thing. I will admit that I was on board with The Fiend and Bray Wyatt up to a certain point. After he got charred and grilled, I was like, okay, how are they going to recover from this? And they didn't because he got released. And then he came back, and it was a bit intriguing, if nothing else.
The QR code thing was fun.
Yeah, it was. It was definitely fun to like follow along with that. And then his first promo was like, okay, he didn't really say much, but I guess that's his style, rambling rabbit as it was. But yeah, this match was, as JR says, the drizzling shits. It was nothing, and the end really just undercut the whole thing. Because I think you've seen the clip from the audience's point of view, where you can see Uncle Howdy jumping off and just landing softly and completely missing.
If I were them, I would just like put out an announcement that Uncle Howdy was seriously injured after taking this fall, and then we never hear of him again. Just announce that he's done.
Yeah, exactly.
And have it done with.
It's like that Simpsons. I don't know. I'm sure how familiar you are with the Simpsons, but there was like that Poochie character, and they're like,
yeah.
But they just wrote on the screen, by the way, Poochie went back to space now. And that was
and like the cell moves up the frame. Yeah.
Exactly.
And
So
he can
just
never come back.
exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Uncle Howdy is
Uncle
no longer
Poochie.
with it. Yeah.
Yeah, like I thought it was bad. I thought it was really bad. What was the other? Oh, then we had the women's championship match, where
With nothing
yeah,
really
which
to write home about.
yeah, it was like a TV match. It's then at the end they're still saying Alexa Bliss is involved in the whole Uncle Howdy dynasty.
Which is what I was gonna say. Like that's the unfortunate part because he's like really so intertwined with everything, and even in the post Rumble press conference, he said, "Oh yeah, me and Alexa Bliss are still connected in some way," and like it's like we gotta move this along, and like
Yeah.
you know,
Okay, and then obviously we had the main event. So Kevin Owens was never going to win. I don't think anyone ever thought that he would.
no,
But like the what they did after the main event, everything with Sammy. It'll be interesting to see if they can do the Usos versus Sammy and Kevin Owens, because obviously they've got Jey Uso seemingly now on Team Sammy.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think this is my prediction. At the Elimination Chamber, it'll be Sammy versus Reigns for maybe just one of the titles. To be fair, he won't win. Sammy won't win, and then there might be some interference on Jay's part in that match, which then prompts KO and Sammy to face the Usos at Mania. So they still do get a Mania spot for this angle, but it's not the main event
Yeah.
that it deserves.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, also, just in the comments, Degrino again says, is Rhea being set up for a face turn? She goes from number one to be the winner, throws out Chelsea Green in 5 seconds, slams and riptides Nia Jax, and is challenging Charlotte because of what happened before. Well, yeah, it sounds like face, but this is their booking, because like Gunther was booked as the face too.
They also that wasn't a riptide. I think Nia Jax really sandbagged her on that one.
I agree.
Because that's what Nia Jax does. But yeah, I think the thing is that they're trying to angle Charlotte as the face because she's facing off against Sonya Deville, famous heel, and Sonya's good at being a heel. She's fine at it. She was a good authority figure when she wasn't wrestling. But they're still like, oh yeah, no, Charlotte's the good guy, and she's not. It's going back to like the days of old when Roman was being pushed as this face, this monster face. I was like, oh yeah, everybody loves Roman, and then he finally turns heel, and it's like, okay, yeah, we're on board. Although I don't think Charlotte's beloved as a heel either. She's just there. You know?
Well,
But
yeah, exactly.
Cast better in that role, I would say. But yeah, to his point, or their point, I think that and Rhea might eventually turn face, but I don't think in this angle necessarily, because she's still part of the Judgment Day, which is still, I mean, despite its shoddy beginnings, has turned into at least something.
Well, the whole thing with her and Dominic is the focal point of it, really.
Yeah, I mean, for a group that has Finn Balor in it, they've really overshadowed him, and he's a small fella, so I get it. It makes sense.
Well, did you see Raw this week?
Yeah.
So the Judgment Day come out, and Dominic was like, "I can't believe this, Cody. I was meant to be the winner." And I'm like, the leader is right there. There's Finn Balor. Why isn't he going to turn around and be like, "Well, no, I was meant to be the," or Damian Priest? They should have just both looked at him like, "What?"
Well, David, what you don't understand is that Dominic Mysterio has been to prison, so they're afraid of him. He's got the street.
Here was the other observation I've got, and maybe this is already made and I've just missed it. But he comes out now with like the bandits,
bandana,
neckerchief or whatever over his face. He is exactly the opposite to Rey Mysterio, because Mysterio, all you can see is this. Dominic, all you can see is that.
Yeah, I think he's really going for the late '90s Guerrero look with like the mullet and everything, and like the swagger and stuff. I think it's a fun angle to take with Dom. or Subinic Mysterio, as some people call him.
Condom.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a fine show, and I mean, Cody did a good promo off the top. I guess Lesnar's in the picture for the Elimination Chamber for U.S. title, or maybe it's going to be him versus Lashley. I don't know. I think him versus Lashley at Mania will be it.
Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. Like, I don't quite know what's going on with Lashley and MVP, and are they just putting the Hurt Business back together? They should do, because that's just what people want.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't quite get it. Like, he got speared by Lashley on Raw by accident. So who's to say?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what else is happening. I guess Theory's the champ.
Yeah.
He's nothing to me.
Well, Theory. So Theory will be against Cena at WrestleMania. There was,
I think.
Well, on Raw, he's like, I've got to be ruthless and I've got aggression, and they're going to clip it out, ruthless aggression, and they're going to show John Cena saying ruthless aggression. Yeah,
that's the idea, because I think Dwayne Johnson has said that he is not in ring shape, which is, I mean, if that man is not in good enough shape to be in the business, nobody has the right.
Let's have a look. Dwayne Johnson. Let's see what his current physical conditioning is. Yeah. So Dwayne Johnson, 2023.
Yeah, he's fine. But there was also talk of having our good friend Cold Stone, Cream Austin back as well.
Yeah. But apparently, I read this week that he turned down a match.
Yeah, I think that's the right choice, because he had a cracking match with KO. That was a lot of fun, and I mean, I think it really set the expectations correctly, because they said it's not going to be a match, and then it turned into a pseudo match, and it was fine. It was a spot fest, and then it ended with that infamous stunner that he gave.
That was the next night. That was the next night.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
So like he was fine for that night. Yeah. And then, like, the last stunner that Steve has given on television was to Vince. And I think... Well, no, we have seen Vince since. That didn't stun him out of the promotion.
No, he came back several times and said, together, forever.
Yeah. Right, okay, so let's see. Have you seen Dynamite from this week?
Yes.
I can't remember if I saw it. What happened on it? Oh, yeah, no, Samoan Joseph is the new champ of TNT. Yeah.
And the television champ. So he's the king of television now.
Yeah.
Move over Jerry Springer, I think, was the old television.
He's too hot for television. Like, is Jerry Springer still a thing?
No, I don't I think he's...
What? He's dead?
No, probably.
Jesus.
On
a sad note, just to acknowledge it, just before the show began, the genius Lanny Poffo, the brother of Macho Man Randy Savage, apparently has passed away. I think I read age 68. Apparently announced on Twitter by Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Don't know any of the details of what happened, but I guess any number of things could have happened. But that was sad to hear.
Yeah, Lanny Poffo.
Yeah, so, look, and this is from Brian Nobbs on Twitter. So, R.I.P. Lanny, you were always a great friend of the Nasty Boys. So, yeah, sad times.
Yeah.
It's interesting, because obviously, in recent years, he's been mostly just been, like, the person that sort of kept the legacy of Randy Savage going, kept the, being, like, doing the interviews and pushed for him to be in, like, the Hall of Fame and stuff like this. I don't believe... I think it was a story before Randy Savage went in the Hall of Fame. And obviously, Lanny Poffo's just died, so I don't mean to say something that's kind of like a negative, but it was always funny at the time to me. But there was, like, an interview where I read that he said that Randy Savage said that he would only go in the WWE Hall of Fame if the genius himself and their father, Angelo Poffo, went in at the same time, and I don't think it happened. But you have to admire him for giving that a go. You know, saying, well, if you want Randy, you gotta take the genius and
The genius, baby.
yeah, that's thinking smart. And to me, it'd always be a shame if someone ends up in the Hall of Fame just because they've passed away, because it's always like, well, why couldn't they go in before they died then? But I don't know. I think he deserves it. He's certainly,
totally.
a long-lasting, prominent character.
Definitely a big character for sure, and yeah, definitely has the pedigree.
And obviously, it was the direct inspiration for the original Damien Sandow gimmick.
And also, he was the exact antithesis of the Eugene character.
Well, that's a good point. Joe, I
He
never
was
made
the
that connection before.
Wrestling savant, same hair, same beard.
Yeah.
You know, he was Eugene was his own type of genius.
Well, okay, so not to completely move on from that, but speaking on the back of same hair and stuff like this, I don't know if you've seen this story this week being shared here. Vicky Guerrero saying, "I'm tired of hearing Dominic compared to Eddie. He will never be Eddie in any way, shape, or form. It's plain disrespectful." What's your thoughts on Vicky Guerrero taking issue with this?
I mean, I don't. Was that like a shoot interview, or is she just?
Well, she's in AEW, so you know.
Yeah, I don't know. I've always thought it was strange that they really made her into the ultimate villain after Eddie's passing.
Yeah, I thought that was weird.
I was like, come on, guys. But I mean, I guess she ran with it, and that's been her gimmick since, even through into AEW. I guess she's managing
someone.
What the heck is their name?
Well, Nyla Rose at one point. She
that's
may
right.
still
Yeah,
be,
Nyla Rose. I think it's Nyla Rose still. Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, I don't know. I think that like the Mysterios and the Guerreros will always be linked.
Yeah.
And especially like I mean, there's that huge storyline in the early aughts of Eddie being.
Well, again, here's the thing that my thoughts on this story is that people on like the internet are reacting to this like, oh, how can Vicky Guerrero complain about this when they did a story where Randy Orton was like, Eddie's in hell now and this and that, and where she's portrayed as being promiscuous and all this, which could be seen as disrespectful. But even though she's in AEW, what Dominic is doing is making people continue to talk about Eddie Guerrero.
That's right.
I think
exactly.
she's probably she's adding to it. She is she was Eddie's wife. Yeah. So he's a heel. So say, oh, he shouldn't be doing this. He's nothing compared to. He's playing it. It gives him more to bounce off of.
Yeah, exactly. It's more maybe. Yeah, like I said.
I think it's a work.
Yeah, maybe it's exactly. Maybe
this is just as much as a work as the CM Punk thing. I'm telling you.
CM Punk's never coming back. He is a cancer.
He's coming back.
You Seth Rollins?
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the I think going back to Dynamite, I think the Daddy Ass is gonna turn on the Acclaimed again.
Really?
Yeah, because I don't know if you recall they had like a quick match against two jobbers. That was fine, and then the Ass Boys came out, the Gun Club as they were once called, and challenged them, and they said, "Does the audience want this?" And the audience said no, which is again, if there's a face, they should always accept the challenge in theory. But then Billy Gunn said, "You guys have got to settle this in the ring. I'm making it official. There's a match." So he went against the Acclaimed's wishes. So I hate to say it, but I think that Scissor Me Daddy Ass is going to be over sooner than later.
Yeah. I think it's a mistake. I think they should keep that, then, now, and forever.
Yes.
I don't think they need... They're like, even the stuff, like... Yeah, exactly. Now, even, like, with Sami Zayn, where they're, like... Here's the thing, with Cody Rhodes in AEW, it's like, well, they want him to turn heel, and he refused to. And for years, John Cena, they wanted him to turn heel, and he refused to. Yes. And for, like, whenever there's a long title reign, like Roman has got now, everyone's like, oh, he's going to lose here, he's going to lose here. It's like, well, They don't have to do that just because people are saying it.
Yeah, I agree. I do think that they should ride out this the faction of the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn for longer. I mean, even just from a money standpoint, like I think besides Danhausen and at one point CM Punk, they are like the highest selling merch people in the biz right now, at least in AEW.
Yeah.
So I would suggest Tony Khan not break them up now, but I think if I'm thinking of like the shoot angle of this all, I think that Billy Gunn is really trying to get his sons over in the nicest way. But like he was enjoying his fame with the Acclaim, but I think he's really like, okay, I've gotta, put my sons over.
A few months ago, I tweeted that like the Gun Club's theme music sucked. And Billy Gunn tweeted back saying that, he likes it because his sons chose it. And I was like, well, that's fair enough. It didn't fit It didn't fit his character at all.
Yeah.
But that was evidence. The reason I mention it is like that's evidence that he's interested in doing whatever for his sons in this.
Of course. So I think.
Sorry, Corey, just 1 second.
Yeah, go.
Because I'll check this as you can then say. But if unless I've remembered incorrectly, like on the AEW roster page, like Billy Gunn's win-loss record is incredible. It's like he was like the first coach they announced, and he's got like so many wins. And yeah, they may mostly be on AEW Dark and Dark Elevation. Okay, so maybe he hasn't wrestled much recently, but let's just bring this up ever so quickly. Here we can see Billy Gunn's career is 49 wins and 13 losses. His son, Austin Gunn, has got 59 wins and 11 losses.
Oh, wow.
And then look, there's the Blade, 59 wins also, but 42 losses. So, Billy is looking after his sons. What's the other one? Colton. Where's Colton?
Yeah, that's right.
Let's see. Now, which one was the one that was there first? So, look, CM Punk's still there, baby. Right, 61 wins and 10 losses.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, like, Billy Gunn, he's...
They're being protected well.
Yeah. You were going to say, though, Corey.
Yeah, I just think that they tried doing this angle before where he turned on the Acclaim. They did it early on in the angle, and I think they kind of reversed it. Like, it wasn't a full whatever, and he, like, did a double cross, and he crossed his sons again.
Mm.
Like, this is going back probably 6-8 months or something like that, and I was like, thank God they kept this going. But I do think that Billy Gunn's like, okay, we got to pull the trigger on this because I want my sons to, get over in this big way. And if they defeat the Acclaimed, who is like the most, everybody loves the Acclaimed, and they say that for a reason. Because I think the majority of the audience are big fans of these guys because they can go, they've got the mic skills, they got it all. But yeah, I think that's what's going to happen there.
Which one of the Acclaimed do you think is better in the ring?
I don't know. I think they're both very good.
Okay.
Who do you think?
I think Bowens is more of has got the more star power in terms of wrestling and look. I think Max Caster, he's got more of the personality. Yeah. But I say that it's because he comes out and does the raps. But then the whole Sesame thing, that's all Bowens. So
yeah,
I don't know. It's pretty split.
Yeah, they're definitely a very balanced team, and I mean, not to get too much into the making of the sausage, but like before they joined AEW, they weren't a tag team. They were formed by Tony Khan. They said, like, you are going to be with him, and you guys got to figure it out. Yeah. And they did. They did very, very quickly. What else is going on? I guess MJF. He wasn't really on this week very much. He with Takeshke. How do you say it?
What else did we have? So this week we had Darby Allin, Samoa Joe.
Yeah, that's right. And that was a cool end to the match.
Oh my god, do you know what? I haven't seen this. I've only seen bits and pieces of it.
Mm.
Oh, of course. This was on... I was doing the Wham Bam Improv Jam last night.
Mm.
And so that's why I didn't see this. Okay, so we had Bryan Danielson and Timothy Thatcher. Was that any good?
That was, it was, Thatcher's good. He can go, and Bryan Danielson. It was very much so a wrestling match.
Okay, Jade and Red Velvet.
Yeah, who do you think won?
Well, Jade.
Yeah, of course. It was fine, and like that was the only person that I could have kind of seen going over on her. The only person that I can see defeating Jade now is if they bring in a new star, because I
From
don't think
WWE.
anybody. I mean, or anywhere. If they bring in somebody new to defeat her, because I don't think anybody on the roster currently.
See, here's the weird thing. Do you think that they're going to have her... At what point does she say, well, actually, I think I've earned a Women's World Championship match?
Yeah, I mean, maybe that'll be what finally somebody defeats her.
Yeah. Like, or no, or she'll combine both titles, maybe do the Ultimate Warrior thing where she just, like, whereas the Intercontinental Champion, he beat Hogan and then he just gave up on the Intercontinental title.
Could do. I don't know. But I mean, I think there's already enough wrestlers that hold 2 belts in wrestling right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and Adam Page and Mox. John Moxley, Adam Page, did that happen?
No.
It didn't happen. It's advertised.
That one didn't go.
Wow. Okay, I wonder what happened there. No, I did not see this. I've only seen clips.
Yeah. Like the Thatcher match was good. Brian Anderson's been doing a very good job of putting over...
Wait, you're saying it didn't happen?
Yeah.
But there's the results.
Oh.
Moxley jumped Hangman as he was making his entrance. Moxley basically fighting with one eye, says Excalibur.
Oh.
Oh, Corey, was this the piss break match?
Could have been.
John Moxley versus Adam Page.
I really don't remember that.
Was
it? Wait, wasn't it? It was Takeshita or what the hell? Like.
I think it says that he was against Brian Cage.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right.
There you go. Right.
Maybe I just.
Yeah, no, don't worry. Like the amount of times, like I watched Raw this week, and when we say about things that happened on it, I'm like, oh yeah, that did happen, but so much of it I forget.
Oh yeah, it was the opening. He came down with his dad. Moxley did.
Yeah.
It was him versus Hangman. Adam Page. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. That did happen. I was thinking of Adam Cole, and I was like, Adam Cole.
Ah, okay, yeah. Too many Adams.
That did happen, and it was fine. Moxley won with a quick roll-up.
Yeah. Okay, we've got a result here. Shawn Michaels says he did not fire Mandy Rose over not safe for work content.
Oh. Would.
Okay, he says, hang on. That for the record, he didn't and can't fire Mandy Rose. It wasn't an ideal exit, but she's a fantastic performer and he liked working with her. He had to make a call creatively, and they had... Wait, so he had to make the call creatively? Well, that sounds like he did make the decision, but he just got Uncle Hunter to get rid of her. Oh, well.
Is there any relation between Uncle Hunter and Uncle Howdy, do you think?
I hope so. I'd like to think so.
Yep.
Well,
a real cut-up, do you see?
Yeah, there you go. Right, Corey. Look, you put me to the test. I'm going to look up. I'm going to put you to the test on something as well.
All right.
So WWE. I'm going to find a random pay-per-view on Wikipedia, and WWE pay-per-view and network events. Let's see what we've got here.
Okay, you said Wikipedia, right?
Yeah, so I'm on Wikipedia. So you check that. Right. Okay. So let's. Okay. In fact, give me a year.
2023. Yeah. Let's do 2005.
2005. Okay, so I'm going to get a random pay-per-view from that year. So from 2005.
I was 40 years old that year, David.
You were 40 years old?
That's right, yeah.
Okay.
I brought my son to Monday Night Raw that year.
Wow. Okay, so we have Taboo Tuesday.
Ooh,
Let's bring up the results. Now, I'm going to ask you who you think won on some of these. Wait, is that Taboo Tuesday?
Yeah, really, Eugene versus Eric Bischoff.
Wait,
Eugene
you asked
won.
for the one that you've got literally in front of you. Right. Hang on, but that's
Oh,
not the
look.
match here.
Oh. So it was a different year.
Corey, your sources today are a little bit off.
Yeah, I felt like doing that.
Like Adam
Fuck.
Cole. Right, okay. So, I'm going to tell you the match, and you got to tell me who you think won. So, we had a tag team match. Chris Masters and Gene Snitsky against Matt Hardy and Rey Mysterio. Who do you think won?
I think Hardy Mysterio.
You are correct. Okay.
Was any stipulation?
It doesn't say any stipulation.
Oh,
I thought
okay.
Taboo Tuesday was the one where the audience vote.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah, anyway.
Maybe
Okay.
they voted on the competitors.
Well, yeah, maybe. Well, this one certainly it might be. So the second match, we have another tag team match. Rob Conway and Tyson Tomko against Eugene and Superfly Jimmy Snuka.
Oh, it's got to be Eugene and Snuka.
Ah, you are correct again. Do you know what? Hang on, this is bullshit. I told you what the event is. You've just gone onto Wikipedia, haven't you?
I have not.
My god! Look at this. I fell for it.
Tyson Tomko? He's not going to win anything.
Yeah, okay.
Rob Conway?
I suddenly realised you were like, Wikipedia. I'm like, oh yeah, you'll never find the page. You know the event, so of course you can find the page. Right, anyway, audience, let us know if you think that Corey is an honourable gentleman. Now, anyway, the next match we have is Mankind against Carlito.
Oh, was there a stipulation on this match?
It doesn't say. It literally doesn't say at all.
Oh, interesting. I say Carlito on this.
Oh, it was Mankind.
Oh, was
Now,
it?
this is one I could have guessed this correctly myself, just for the fact that every time they brought Mick Foley out of retirement, he lost, except for this one time. I think this is the only time in WWE they had him come back where he actually won.
I thought that Carlito was hot at this point. Maybe.
Yeah, possibly, but regardless. Next up, we have The Big Show and Kane against Trevor Murdoch, who may still be the NWA champion, I'm not sure,
I think so, yeah.
and Lance Cade.
It was Big Show and who?
And Kane.
Okay. For the belts?
It was for the World Tag Team Championship.
I think it was probably Murdoch and Cade.
Ooh, it was Big Show and Kane.
Oh, really?
Yes. Taking the
that's who should
championship.
have won? Because I know that they put the straps on Murdoch and Cade for a while.
Yeah. Like, they were the champions, but they lost it to Big Show and Kane here. Now, this definitely doesn't say all of the stipulations. It doesn't say what the votes were on, unless it's listed somewhere else. But, oh well. Next up, we have Batista versus Jonathan Coachman.
Ooh, it's got to be Batista. Right?
It was.
Come on.
Okay, bonus point. What was unusual about this match taking place?
What was unusual about
Yeah,
it?
what is the backstory to this match taking place?
That Jonathan... Wait, did Batista have an arm tied behind his back?
Not that I remember, but maybe he did.
Okay. Jonathan Coachman is not.
But you know what? You're not a billion miles off. You're not a billion miles off with the arm behind the back thing. If you think on that idea, it might prompt you.
Oh, was he blindfolded?
No. I'll tell you what it was. Batista was a replacement because the match was meant to be Jonathan Coachman versus Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh.
And Steve Austin at a certain point was like, no, I'm not doing this match, and he left. The reason why I thought, because when Vince McMahon went against Steve Austin the very first time, Austin had an arm tied behind his back. So I was like, if you think on that, then we may get there. Then we had Victoria against Trish Stratus. What? Oh, it was a battle royal. Well, okay. They haven't said all of the competitors. Wikipedia, that you're really letting us down today. Right, but it was a battle royal. These two were in it. Who won?
I gotta go with Trish Stratus, baby.
Yeah, there you go. Now,
I hope. Yeah, makes sense. Victoria just came back to, I think it was Impact recently? Like this week.
Actually, I did not know this.
Yeah.
I did not know this. Right, okay. Then we have Ric Flair versus Triple H steel cage match for the WWE Intercontinental Championship.
The dirtiest player in the game, baby.
Yeah, you're correct. This was actually a really good match, if you remember it.
Yeah. 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 And Ric Flair could go for a while there. I mean,
Yeah, no,
personal life
absolutely.
aside.
Okay, and the main event we have John Cena, Kurt Angle, and Shawn Michaels triple threat match for the WWE Championship.
Gotta be. Wait, year 2004?
2005, I believe.
5, okay. Then Cena, I think.
John Cena?
Yeah.
Ooh, yes, you're correct. Right. Yeah, there you go. Okay, no, you did really well. You did much better than I did on who fought Christian Cage. So, there you go. Oh, no, like, here was the voting results. Like, if I just scrolled down. So, the opponents for Snitsky and Shawn Michaels, it could have either have been... So, it was just 2 out... It was 2 out of these 5 options. With 10%, Hardcore Holly didn't get the vote. Let's bring it up on the screen. Christian was also in there. Bradshaw, then Mysterio and Hardy. And then look at this. Eugene's partner was Jimmy Snuka, but it could have been Jim Duggan or it could have been Kamala.
Kamala!
It should have been Kamala. That would have been amazing. Eugene and Kamala. What a wasted opportunity. Opponent for Carlito, Mankind,
so stupid.
Cactus Jack or Dude Love.
That's funny.
Oh my god. Batista versus Jonathan Coachman could have been a verbal debate. Should have been an arm wrestling match. Should have been an arm wrestling match.
Street fight. Yeah, of course it was.
Outfit for the Fulfill Your Fantasy Diva Battle Royale. Lingerie, leather and lace, or cheerleader. Wow, what would have you voted there, Corey?
I'm a married man, David. I can't say.
Sorry, put you on the spot there. They'd never do that nowadays, though. Right, no. Stipulations for Triple H versus Ric Flair. Cage, submission, or regular. And imagine that, there's a cage hanging above the ring. And they're like, we're going to have a submission match. Or a regular match. Yeah. Ignore the cage. I mean, that is almost what they did a couple of weeks ago. It's like Raw 30. We're going to have Becky Lynch. Yeah. We're going to have Bayley.
That was brutal.
And then we're just not going to do it. Opponent for John Cena, either Shawn Michaels, Kane, or The Big Show. Didn't they wrestle earlier, though?
They did, yeah.
Wow. Wait, so hang on. But it was also Kurt Angle, so that's weird. Right, well, anyway, I'll have a quick look to see if there's anything else. Is there anything else that you feel that we have not covered that we should be reacting to in the world of professional wrestling?
Well, of course, that Moxley versus Hangman Adam Page match, that was so memorable. It was weird. His dad came down to the ring with him, and he didn't do anything. I thought there was going to be an angle with Mox Sr.
Yeah.
But no.
Well, look, here we see Mox Sr.
That's right, yeah.
And he looks pleased to be there.
Yeah. Yeah, and then there was, of course, the Scissor Me Timbers, which is great.
Yeah.
The stupidest name for a wrestling move. But yeah, I think, moving to Mania season, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I mean, Logan Paul versus Rollins. Who do you think is going to be up for the women's title, though?
Ooh, I don't know.
We've already got Cody locked in for the men's.
Well,
Rhea
so we know that it's Charlotte and Rhea. Who were they setting up? They were setting up someone on Raw, I think.
For Bianca?
For Bianca, yeah. I forget who. I'm sure they had someone saying like they had like damage control and Becky come out, didn't they?
Mm-hmm. Maybe it'll be like Becky, Bayley, Bianca.
Yeah.
Triple B.
3B.
3MB. Maybe that'll be those three versus the 3-man band.
Yeah.
These guys aren't doing much.
Absolutely should do it. But okay, I don't know.
I think the celebrity match will be Logan Paul, because they have to. I
Yeah,
don't know.
so Logan Paul versus Seth. I think that is going to steal the actual show.
Could do, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I don't know what other like undercard, like who's gonna face. I mean, yeah, maybe Sammy and KO for the tag team.
Yeah.
Who's gonna Gunter versus?
I don't know, like him versus Lesnar. They had that tease. Maybe they were just testing the audience reaction to see if they would be interested in it. But
Yeah, but it does seem like it's gonna be Lashley versus Lesnar.
it does still seem like that, unless they just do that elimination chamber and then it moves on. But I don't know.
Who's gonna win Elimination Chamber?
So who's in it? We've got Austin Theory. Who else is even in it? I may need to bring this up.
I'm looking it up too.
Okay, let's see who can find it out first. I'm scrolling through all of the years.
Come on.
Come on, upcoming Elimination Chamber. Oh god, I'm gonna get there. And I've got it. Austin Theory, Seth freaking Rollins, Johnny Gargano, Bronson Reed, and 2 wrestlers to be determined. Oh, yeah, Bronson Reed is doing it. That guy is money.
That guy, yeah, the tsunami baby. He's fun. He's Maybe it's Dexter Lumis.
Well, yeah, like Austin Theory. Well, I hope not. Right, Johnny Gargano is not going to take it unless they're going to do John Cena versus Austin Theory for the US title at WrestleMania.
Yeah, so I guess he's going to retain.
Because that's an interesting thing with John Cena, because they did that whole thing after he'd been world champion so much about he's going to be US champion and defend it every week.
Yeah.
It seems like that's the thing that stuck, even though it wasn't the world title. He made that championship mean something.
Yeah, he made it spin. Remember?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I loved it when Rob Van Dam won the WWE Championship, and then was like, "I've got the ECW Championship, and I'm going to rechristen it as this." He's like, "But I'm going to keep this one because it spins." Love it. It's cool. And then we have Oscar, Liv Morgan, Nikki Cross, Rachel Rodriguez, and this is the match for who will go against. Right, okay, so this is to find out who will go for the Raw Women's Championship. So look at this. It doesn't even have Becky or Bayley in it. So much for that theory. So
for that Austin theory.
Oscar should win out of those.
She should do, yeah. I don't think she will, but...
Well, no, she has always been screwed at WrestleMania. She won the first Women's Royal Rumble and then lost. And then she was Women's Champion in the year when Becky was in the main event. And they were like, well, we're just going to add Charlotte, so now Oscar won't even have a match.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm on Team Oscar this time.
Yeah, I hope so. She deserves it, for sure.
Well, I hope you are as well. Right, also, hang on. I think there's something important here which we need to acknowledge.
Just a bamboo-eating panda? Okay, yeah. Okay, before we close out for the day, who, one, is going to be the next opponent for Bray Wyatt?
Bray Wyatt.
Yeah. And who is Uncle Howdy? And do you think it's the same person?
I hope the answer to both is unemployment.
I gotta say it's gotta be his brother.
Yeah, it looks like it's his brother. So it's Bo Dallas. But the funny thing is, they may not ever acknowledge that. They might just be like, look, we'll have you come in, we'll give you a payday, but we're never going to reveal it's you because we don't think anyone will care. And that might literally be it. They'll just be like, well, no, you were just Uncle Howdy. We don't need to reveal that you were Bo Dallas. We'll just have you as Uncle Howdy.
Yeah, like a similar to a Kane before he was unmasked. Maybe they'd be corporate Uncle Howdy.
That'd be awesome. But the thing I don't get though,
Trousers.
It's like, wasn't the whole thing that Uncle Howdy attacked Bray a few weeks ago, and now
that's right.
Now he did the coffin drop on nothing, but allegedly on LA Knight.
Soft cushion, yeah.
So how do they then go from that for Uncle Howdy versus Bray?
I don't know. I really don't know what they're thinking. I don't think that Bray knows. I think he's, to quote the Joker in the 2008 movie, The Dark Knight, I think he's just a dog chasing cars. He doesn't know what he's going to do when he catches it. And now that he's back, he's just, really Like, oh, they're letting me do whatever I want. Great, I'm gonna have a Mountain Dew pitch black match. Next up, the Dr. Pepper brownout match. Let's go.
Okay, so, yeah, let's hope so. I don't think there's any late breaking news. So, let's take that as a good sign. You said what? Oh, yeah, let's find out what the Iron Sheik's got to say today. Well, it might be sad. It might be relating to Lanny Poffo.
I mean, that's not a bad way to end.
No, absolutely. So let's see what we've got here. So from the Iron Sheik, we have the Ant-Man, the real Bubba, no jabroni. There we go. Unexpected. And then he says here, Lanny Poffo, my brother, I love you forever. Give Nikolai, Randy, and Elizabeth a hug for me. So
very nice.
Yeah. Good stuff there from.
You don't follow King Kong Bundy? That's what I'm finding out for the first time. I can't believe it.
Do you know what? Like, I think the genuine thing is, I think I did. But he passed away, and I think I found it a bit sad.
Yeah, because who's tweeting from his account?
I don't think anyone is anymore. Like, the thing that's sad about it, if I remember correct. So, January 1st. Someone it obviously is. But I don't know. That's very weird. Maybe even though it says real King Kong Bundy, is not verified. It may not actually be the real King Kong Bundy.
Count to 5, David. Count to 5.
I know that was like the worst decision ever at WrestleMania. If I was Bundy. You know, it'd just be like 1, 2, 3. The referee's looking at him. It's like, are you going to ask to count to 5? I'll be like, no, give me the belt.
That's good.
Yeah. Right. Well, on that note, Corey, I thank you.
Thank you, David.
No, I thank you, Corey.
You're a real Uncle Howdy to me.
Well, there we go. Right. So, where can the people find you?
At Corey Burge, Korri. Birch like the tree. I do a show called Good News Toronto. That's at Good News Comedy on all the socials. That show is ending very soon, so if you're in Toronto, come check it out. But I don't think anybody that watches the show is in Toronto, but if you are,
well, they may well be. Like, apparently anyone that's, like, people that have been on this show or been on Extreme in the past always end up all roads lead to Toronto.
That's right. Wait, does that mean Cody Rhodes coming to Toronto?
Hopefully. Okay. And then it turns out it's just Dustin. Oh. Right. Okay, so my name is David Pstansky. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at David Pstansky. Do check out that book, which Corey is holding there, which is available on Amazon all the way around the world. The Extreme Improv, Big Book of Improv Games. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff on the boil in the world of Slam Jam. Hence, well, obviously the big one being that there is now a dedicated Slam Jam YouTube channel, and there's like now lots more things happening. You should check out the Slam Jam Instagram and Twitter and stuff like that, because there is a joke of the day going out every day, like a wrestling themed joke. And if you've got a better one, guys, just put it in the comments and we'll read them out loud. Now, with that, from me, from everyone else, stay safe, always stay extremed, and ciao.